Oops. Happy. Hello, Luciano Moraes, how are you? Positive and Funny 7, how are you doing? I'm glad you joined. So this is a spontaneous live stream, the first one of the year. And hello, Fortuna Julio. Let's wait for some people to join, and then we can talk, and then you can talk too if you want. We can talk together. Luciano, where are you from? Tell me where you are from, please. Luciano, Positive and Funny. Xetek, where are you from, Xetek? Hello, Jefferson, how are you? Hassan, hello. Thank you for joining. So, how have you been? How was the end of the year for you? You're from São Paulo. Cool. Maud, hello. Is that a French name? Alexandre, hi. Pierotto. Ivan, hello, welcome. Nice. I'm glad to hear that, Luciano. Hello. All right. So, the idea for today's live stream is to just get started with the live streams of the year. We started doing some live streams in the very last few weeks of 2018. It was awesome. Hello, Elisa. Hello, Learner92, FF Moda, Marcio. And it was so good. We intend to keep doing the same. It's very, very exciting. There are so many people I want to talk to. And I would like to talk not only to teachers, but language learners in general and students, English students too. Hello, Andy. Hello, Eugenio. Eugenio is here. It's always great to see you, Eugenio, to see your name here, right? Keira Ramos, hello. Guaxinim Aquático, hello. Cleusa, hi. Hello, Evandro. So, tell me where you're from, and, well, before telling me what your plans for this year are, I would like to talk a little bit about last year, 2018, because it has just ended. It's been 7 days. Hello. Hello, Alison. How are you? So, Alison is a student, one of our students. I would like to know from you, would you like to talk? I don't know if you tapped by chance, by mistake. Join the conversation here. But it's always good to... Hello, Kayla. Hi. Marcela Cabral, hello. It's always good to take a look back and see what happened during a period of time. In this case, I'm talking about the whole year of 2018. I think it's good. Why? Because we need to see what happened, right? To see what went right, what went wrong. And if you've been following our videos here on Instagram, we've taught about those phrases. So, and by writing wrong, I mean, this is how can I say this? It depends on how you see it, on your perspective, right? So what I mean by what went wrong is, for example, for many people who wish to become fluent in English or who have any other plan for the year, if you don't achieve that goal, you might feel a little frustrated, right? and you might feel a little sad. So that's what I mean when I say things that went wrong. And on the other, by the same token, things that went right? Goals that you have achieved. So here I would like to focus on language learning goals, language related goals. And I would like to know from you what your goals were last year, 2018, what you wanted to have accomplished, and if you managed to accomplish those goals or not. And remember that things can happen for many reasons. That's why we're taking a look back to examine what happened and try to fix things, right? If they didn't go the way you wanted. Yes, so let me take a look here. You started to say something. From São Paulo, English teacher Thiago from São Paulo. We could do a live stream one day, right? We'll do that this year. This year is the year of the live streams. It was a tough year, Jenny, really. In terms of language learning, it was tough. What were some of the challenges? What was difficult? So learner 92 is saying that forgetting what you study is very frustrating. Frustration, how to deal with frustration, right? How do you deal with frustration? So, yeah, frustration is when you have an expectation and the thing you expect to happen doesn't happen. And then one possible reaction is to feel frustrated. Or one momentary, temporary reaction, right? It can last a few seconds, it can last a few months, a few years. So being able to deal with frustration is very important when you're learning a language. About politics and work. Okay. Oh, so I'm glad you didn't mean language learning, right? That's cool. That's good news. So, well, I'm going to, because you're not saying many things here, I'm going to talk about myself. I am a language learner myself. Besides being a teacher, an English teacher, I like to learn languages, and last year was a spectacular year for me because I discovered this here, Instagram. Instagram as a tool to learn languages. In the end of 2017, a student, Bruna, told me she was using Instagram to, she was following teachers. I don't know exactly, I don't remember exactly what she was doing. I think she was just using her regular personal account and just following teachers. She wasn't posting much, wasn't, you know, making things. But when she told me that, we talked a lot, and then I suggested that she created a new account just for language learning, for English, right? And in this account, she would focus all her energy and time, and, you know, everything. Focus is crucial if you want to learn English. And she did just that. She created another account, and which is this one that she has now, English Learning Diary. And she did that. She started following more and more and more teachers, not only teachers, English students, learners in general. And this year, I decided that I wanted to do that too, because that looked very, very exciting, and I love learning languages. So I decided to do the same. And it took me a few months to start my account, but in April, by the end of March, my account was up and running. I was making videos from day one. If you take a look at my account, you'll see that there are videos from April 1st there. And I started making videos, and I've been making videos until now. There are 400 videos there. practicing what? Practicing Polish. Polish is the language I chose to practice, to learn this year. I'm so happy today. I'll tell you why in a second. But I started learning Polish for those of you who don't know the story, because, well, I needed a language. I wanted to start learning a language from scratch. And so I didn't want a very, not so difficult language like a Romance language, like French, Italian, and Spanish, which for me are not easy, but easier than other languages. So I didn't want to use those languages. I wanted to start a new one. Even German, I know a little German. I didn't want to use it. So some friends told me they were learning Polish. They had moved to the south of Brazil. There is a huge community of Polish people there. The government, the cities, the organizations there, they offer free classes for the population because they want to keep the culture alive, right? And my friends who are really smart and cool, I will be doing many live streams here. You will get to know them, Luisa and Thierry. So they started taking these classes, and they mentioned they were doing that in the beginning of last year, and I decided then, okay, Polish. This is a tip for you guys, not in terms of choosing a language, but choosing anything or certain things. You shouldn't spend like a lot of time to decide something that will have very little impact in your life. So if something is really important, if you're buying a house or selling something huge, okay, you need a lot of time to think about that, to talk to people, blah, blah, blah. But in my case, I was choosing a language, and I didn't spend much time or waste much time, I'm going to use that word, choosing the language. It was Polish, okay? From that moment on, the minute I decided I was going to learn Polish, my mind just honed in. I just focused on that, and there was nothing else that, well, there were a few things that distracted me a little bit along the way. I'll tell you also a little bit about that in a minute. But my main focus is Polish. This is very important experience that I'm telling you now, because this might help you this year, 2019, okay? So I decided that I was going to learn Polish. And by learn Polish, I mean reaching level A2. I don't know if you guys know, but when you learn a language, there are systems. Actually, there is one main system that tells you what level you're in. So the system is A0. That was my case in March last year. I was A0, zero knowledge of the language. Then there is A1, A2, which is the basic, right? You have basic knowledge of the language. Then B1, B2, which would be the intermediate level, and C1, C2. You might know this already. My goal was to reach level 2 in 1 year. 1 year, 12 months. So I started last year in April, and I'm still in month 10. Month 10, 10, 11, 12, 10 now in January. So my year will end by the end of March. What happened is that I created my account. I got the materials. I selected the materials I was going to use, including apps. Among the apps, you already know, you might know if you're not new, Duolingo, Drops, Closemaster, and I always forget the other one, Link, and another one. So I used these apps every single day. It's interesting because I know very few people, I don't know many people who have been doing certain things every single day in terms of language learning. People always skip days, skip the weekends, skip holidays, skip because of vacation, because this or that. I always, in these 9 months, found a way to use these apps every single day. Every day I learned Polish somehow. Later on, 1 month later, I think it was too late, but I started listening more to Polish, and I used podcasts. This is what we use a lot with our students, and the results are amazing. So I recommend that you guys listen to podcasts too. There are lots of them. Not just the ones that teach English, but the ones that talk about subjects you like. Okay, so I listen to podcasts every day, and I'm going to show you here. This is something that I started doing in October last year, which is a habit, I forgot the name, a tracker, a habit tracker. The idea is very simple. I already use spreadsheets with the students. The thing is, I don't like it to be online. For me personally, I use it with the students because we can share and they can fill in the gaps there, mark the things they did, put links, and I can access it during the class. But for me, I use paper. So this is one example. This is my tracker. Here, this is for Duolingo. For each level of the Duolingo tree, I have shown this already in the past. So the axes show what I did, okay? Here, the dark parts, it's just because this doesn't exist. The things didn't exist. I did one for applications, other applications besides Duolingo. So every day, every day. When I say every day, it's every day. It's every day. I'm not skipping Saturdays, not skipping Sundays. I'm not skipping my birthday. I'm not skipping anyone's birthday. I'm not skipping anything. I do it. When I decide to do something, I do it. Of course, I don't do everything. I choose there are certain things I am able to do. In this case here, monthly close master. Oh, monthly, I have forgotten that one. Monthly close master, drops, and Duolingo. I wasn't able to use the other ones a lot. Link, which is really good. I recommend that. High Native, good. Duolingo Stories, and the last one, Quizlet. So I can't use everything, but I can use something. And that something stabilizes my practice, my routine. Okay? What else did I do? I listen to podcasts here, and I listen to podcasts first. The first podcast I listen to, which is very early in the morning when I wake up, I'm having breakfast, I'm listening to a podcast in Polish because that's my most important language right now. After that, if I have nothing else to listen in Polish, I will listen to something in French, Italian, Spanish, whatever. Then I can listen to some music. And what else? And videos. I made so many videos this year. It's unbelievable. I was telling you, I started recording videos from day one to practice speaking. Why? Because I had heard, I don't know if you've read that book, Fluent in 3 Months by Benny Lewis, who is an Irish polyglot. And he wrote this book. It's a classic now. Everybody knows this book. If you don't know it, you should. And the title of the book is Fluent in 3 Months. Is it possible to become fluent in 3 months? No, don't think so. But, well, there is an ideal situation in which, yes, you can. For example, if you're learning a language which is very similar to yours, like from a Portuguese perspective, a Portuguese native speaker perspective, Spanish would be the easiest language, or Italian, actually. Italian or Spanish. if you decide to learn Spanish, if you move to a Spanish-speaking country, if you don't speak English, if you don't speak Portuguese, if you don't speak any other language, if you talk to people all day long, if you expose yourself to the language all day long, yes, you can become fluent in 3 months. That's possible. But it wouldn't be the case if you're learning Japanese, right? If your native language is Portuguese and you want to become a fluent speaker in Japanese, it will take you longer, a lot longer, a lot of effort for those people. So I did it for October, for November. This is November already. So many things, my trackers. And then, I was telling you about distractions. What happened is that I started using Instagram, and my account is focused. That means I follow only language teachers, only language learners, and language-related accounts. Only that. If the person posts anything other than language-related stuff, I stop following the person because my account is for language learning. I can follow the person on another account. That's not a problem. It's not a personal problem. It's just my focus, okay? So I started doing that, posting my videos there and watching other people's videos in stories and IGTV videos and things like that, commenting on other people's posts. And there is a community there that is fantastic. It's very supportive. I noticed that from day one, and it's the same or more now, 9 months later. So I am completely addicted. I cannot imagine myself learning a language far away from this community. What happened is that I finished my Duolingo 3. My 3 now is golden in Polish. And I said, I want to keep using Duolingo because I love Duolingo, but it will not be Polish. And I was very excited about using Instagram to learn languages. I wanted to bring back the languages I learned in the past. I started learning in the past French, Italian, Spanish, and German. So I did that. By doing that, I had to use part of the time I was using for Polish for the other languages, right? So, but in my case, I think it was an advantage. It was something good because, what can I say? Because I was giving my brain a break from Polish by learning other languages. It was like something refreshing for me. So I think it was good. I would have done the same. But what happened is that now I feel less anxious about the other languages. I finished what I needed to do with all the other languages except for German. And now I came back to Polish. So I finished everything December 31st. And starting January 1st, my focus now is 100% Polish for 3 months. Because that's the end of my deadline, which is the end of March. And after that, I will give Polish a break. And I will take up German. Because I'm so excited with the results with Polish that I want to apply that in my language, in my German learning journey. Because I didn't have that when I started learning German 4 years ago. I didn't feel that way. I wasn't part of a community. I wasn't using Instagram to learn languages. I was alone. I'm okay being alone. I'm fine. But the thing is, things go slower, go much, much slower. I feel that the community gives you so much energy that you learn more. You learn more. You remember more. You know, somebody was talking about not remembering stuff. I remember a lot of stuff now because of the community. So this is interesting. This is something I just realized now. I think the energy the community gives you makes you learn, really, really learn. And when I was learning German for 5 years ago, it was during the World Cup, 2014. I spent like more than a year learning German, but I wasn't doing two things. I wasn't part of a community and I wasn't recording myself. That was the time when I learned about the power of recording ourselves, because I was following polyglots and learning, trying to learn from them, you know, I listened to them a lot, I read a lot, and to get the tips and things that would make learning faster. And one of those polyglots, her name, I don't know where she's from, I think she's American, her name is Shannon Kennedy. Shannon Kennedy, her handle on Instagram and everywhere else is Euro, oh my God, I forgot, Eurolinguist? I think it's Eurolinguist. I need to remember, because I always remember that, that it started with her. Because when I was learning German 5 years ago, I found her on Facebook, and there were on her feed, there were these videos where she was always inside a car with the cell phone on her hand, and she was saying, talking to herself, I think in Mandarin, Chinese, something like that. There was a text in the description below the video, and she was practicing. She was practicing. The videos are very short, like 30 seconds, 1 minute long, something like that. And then after watching her videos for a while, I realized that that could be a way for me to learn pronunciation and speaking and lose the fear of speaking, because that's what a lot of language learners have. They're very afraid of speaking. At the same time that I actually found her videos, because I was frustrated. One of the things that frustrated me was that I couldn't find people to talk to. And in my case, personally, it's not just, okay, this is a German person you can talk to. It's not just like that. We need to have something in common. We need to have some kind of connection. If there is no connection, I will lose interest immediately. Immediately. This is what happens with me. And so there were a lot of those sites, language exchange sites. One of them is actually named Language Exchange. And there are many of them. There were many of them then. I don't know nowadays. And I registered. I signed up for all of them, signed in, and used it every day. I tested all of them, I was always in chat rooms talking to people. And I had a horrible experience. I felt like wasting my time because I was simply not interested in what people were talking there. I was not. And I never found anyone I could connect and feel willing to talk. So that was the problem with these sites. But I've met many people who had a completely different experience. They met lots of people there. You know, the experience was completely different. This might have to do with personality. My personality is different. It doesn't work well with those sites. But the good thing is I found a way to practice speaking, and I'm super happy with it. And the hint, the clue was given by Shannon Kennedy. I'm very, very grateful to her. And it's funny because a lot of polyglots talk about that. They give this tip. Oh, you should record yourself, record yourself, record yourself. But I never see anyone recording themselves. No one. No one. I saw her doing that, and I trusted her right away because she was doing what she was telling people to do. Now that I'm in a language learning community on Instagram, of course, I see people doing that all the time. Not just teachers, not just polyglots, right? They're learning different languages. But people are recording themselves up and down there, and it's fantastic. I love that. Even when I have no idea what they're saying in a language I don't know, I love watching them speak, and I feel good for them I feel great for them. So that's it for recording myself. So I've been recording a lot on Instagram. At first it was like 30 seconds, and then it became later on, became 1 minute, and I recorded. I started recording for IGTV, which has a limit of 10 minutes for me. And I recorded a lot everywhere, stories, IGTV here, blah, blah, blah. And then I decided to record longer videos, and I created a YouTube account just for that. Just for that. So I have many YouTube accounts, there are 4, and one of them is for language learning. And that's the same idea. I only follow polyglots, language teachers, language learners, anything connected with language learning, anything. So it's very cool, because when I'm having a break in the afternoon, in the evening, I'm eating something, I just go there. I know there will always be a new video to watch. I love watching those videos. I was just watching a video now. I will recommend this channel to you. It's Polyglot Only Richards. And in the end of the year and now beginning of the new year, he has been doing this series with another polyglot. Her name is, I don't know, Ollie is, I think he's from England, and he's been interviewing this other polyglot, and her name is Lydia. I don't know how to say her name. She's from, where is she from? Czech Republic, I'm not sure. Bratislava, where is Bratislava? Well, she's from Bratislava, and I don't know how to pronounce her name. It would be something like Lydia Mahova. I'm saying this because she just gave a TED talk. You need to watch this talk, because it's, boom, it's an explosive thing. It's reached, I think now it might have reached like 600,000 people. It's been a week or 2, I don't know. No, it was in October, but they released now. They released the talk now. And she was very happy. She was telling everybody these days there. I watched her talk. It's fabulous. You shouldn't miss it. I think it's called The Secret to Learning Languages, something like that. Her name is Lydia. If you're part of one of our WhatsApp groups, we have already posted the video there. Just check it under languages or something on TED. And she is amazing. She speaks many languages. She's an expert. She has worked with very important people. She knows what she's saying. So if you don't believe anything I am saying, listen to her and try to listen to all the other polyglots, because these are very experienced language learners. They're not beginners, okay? So listen to these older people, more experienced people, and you will learn much faster. So anyway, I was watching, because it's a 5-part interview, super long interview, and today it was part 4. They were talking about speaking. Part 4 is about speaking, just speaking, 30 minutes about that. And they were talking about the difficulties, possibilities, ideas, how can a person start speaking. They talk from their experience. It's fantastic. I really recommend that. So yeah, this YouTube channel is fantastic, because I'm always inspired by these people, and it's always great. And what I like about YouTube is the comment section in these videos. If you watch other channels, certain videos, the comments won't be so interesting, but the comments in these videos are great. I always make an effort to comment there, because you can interact with people, you can meet new people, they can go to your channel, you can end up recording videos together. That's a lot of fun, and I love it. So this is new. My YouTube channel is new. It's been 3 months. I started in October, and one of the things I've been doing there I decided to do, so my plan for the next, I was talking about the past year, I was asking you about the past year, to reevaluate things and plan ahead. What do you want to do now, 2019? I am more excited than ever about this year in terms of teaching English and also learning languages. So my plan in terms of learning languages is giving my all to learn as much Polish as I can in these 3 next months. I have been using a textbook. I like textbooks. Hora po polsku 1. And one of the things I am doing, it doesn't have an answer key, but at this point, I've met a lot of Polish people, so they have been helping me a lot with correcting my exercises, helping me. It's been awesome. And so I do all the exercises, they check the exercises for me, and then I make these live streams every day on my channel, explaining to myself certain points. Because in the case of Polish, one of the difficulties is the cases. It's not difficult, but you have to memorize a lot. So one thing that helps me is when I tell myself, I explain to myself or explain to somebody else things that the way I understand. You know, so I use the book to explain to myself, and it's live, it's a live stream, so it's really cool. I'm very excited. I will finish the textbook in 2 months, and then I will use March for the workbook. And then that's it for, at least as my main focus will change to German. Like I said, I want to apply everything that I learned in 2018 on my German. I want to reach a higher level. I don't even know what level I am, probably A1, A2. So maybe I'm very ambitious this year, maybe B1, B2. That would be awesome if I could do that. And I say I'm very ambitious for some reasons. I chose to learn Polish, but I didn't know how difficult it is. It is considered a difficult language. Why is it considered a difficult language? Because it doesn't resemble other languages much, or at least Romance languages much. Of course, there are Latin words that have the same root as Latin and Greek, maybe. But these are very technical, formal words. And I will... I want to use these expressions every day, we use in everyday life, right? So I didn't know it was so hard. And everybody says it's so hard. Polish people are always wishing me good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck. Powiedzenia, I think. Powiedzenia, 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 because people don't go very far with Polish. It demands a lot of energy and love for the language. So it's been 9 months now. And my goal was to reach A2 by March. And so in the end of last year, I met a Polish teacher. And he started an Instagram account. It's a recent account. And he asked me if I would like to do a class with him, to record. Sorry, to record a video. Yeah, the class was recorded. And I recommend that. This is one of the things I want to do more this year. Newton has been doing this a lot. I haven't, but I want to do. I want to... I don't know about the old students because they got used to just the voice. We don't use the camera. But it is cool to use the camera because of my class today. It was a 60-minute class. And actually, no, it was a 30-minute class because we talked a lot before. I talked a lot before in English because he wanted to understand what kind of practice I had been doing with Polish, how I was learning. So we talked a lot in English first, the first half hour. And in the second part of the class, in the other 30 minutes, It was just in Polish, because he speaks English super well, but in class he doesn't speak English, or at least he avoids. I think he said 1 or 2 words really fast in English, but everything else was in Polish. And I understood what he was saying, and I spoke a lot too in Polish. I'm so happy. I asked him about my level. He said it wouldn't be A1, it would be A2. So I have accomplished my goal before 12 months. I have accomplished my goal with 9 months. A2 with 9 months of practice. Considering Polish as a very, very hard language to learn, much harder than German. So that's why I'm very optimistic and ambitious with German. And I think I can, by doing the same thing I've been doing with Polish, I can go very, very far this year with German. And that will be really cool. So that's my goal for this year. Talking about goals and motivation and things like that. Yesterday, so I was talking to you about podcasts and how important it is to listen to podcasts. One of the podcasts I will recommend is The Fluent Show. The Fluent Show. It's hosted by Kirsten. She is German, but she lives in somewhere in England, Great Britain these days, I'm not sure where. So she's been hosting the show for a while now, and it's getting better and better. And the first episode this year was with Shannon Kennedy, the one and only Shannon Kennedy, the one that records the videos. And she said something. She always says things that are very interesting. So this time she said something that really touched a chord. How we say that? There is an expression like that. Touch the chord, something like that. Which is, they were talking about motivation, but Shannon said that motivation for her doesn't come first. You know, it's not like, oh, I feel motivated to learn, so I will learn. It's not like that. First, she establishes a routine, and she is very disciplined, just like me. She's very, very disciplined. She's very serious about what she's doing and about her goals. It's not a game for her. I mean, it's fun and everything, but it's not something, oh yeah, I don't care about it anymore. It's something that she takes very seriously. So she decides what she's going, the material she's going to use. She establishes a routine. She's very disciplined, just like me. And she feels that the discipline leads to motivation. It's the discipline that generates motivation. It's not the other way around. It's not like, oh, I'm very motivated, so I will learn a language. You will not learn anything without discipline. Okay? This is very sad for Brazilians because Brazilians don't like that usually, right? It's ingrained in our genes, this rebellion against discipline, against logic, because we are very creative, and this is good too. The smart thing to do is to combine our creativity with this discipline. You cannot only be creative, you need something to generate creativity. How are you going to be creative if you don't have, what are you going to do with that if you don't have discipline, right? So I found out that discipline is an important element. It's not just, and when I say discipline, maybe a lot of you might be visualizing those classrooms in the past, like in the 19th century, you know, students were sitting on the desks, at their desks, not on, but at their desks, and quiet, in silence. The teacher was speaking all the time. The students were writing all the time. This is not what I want to say when I say discipline. I had a lot of fun this year, and I was very disciplined at the same time. And it's probably because of the discipline that I achieved my goal before I had planned 9 months instead of 12 months. This is a very important element, okay? So I understand that we have, which is actually a very, what we have as Brazilians, it's a very, how can I say this? It's a very important, it's a strength that we have. We will never lose it, okay? But we need to learn how to combine this strength, this, you know, I'm going to call it creativity, for lack of other word, and combine it with something that is connected with production in a more efficient basis. I think that's what I want to say. We are creative, but we are not efficient, okay? I'm going to talk about the Germans a little bit here. I feel they can be very efficient, but they are not very creative. They have a problem with that. They're very, yeah, they have a problem finding creative solutions for problems, but they always find solutions for problems. So the solution doesn't matter. If you are creative, you will probably find a more interesting solution. But finding the solution is what matters in the end. So you can only find a solution if you're focused on something, if you want to achieve a goal. So back to the goal thing, this is the beginning of the year. I always talk to the students about this importance of deciding what you want to do this year. Do you really want to learn English? Many people don't want to learn English, right? This is another thing. Many people, they are just having classes because somebody else is telling them to do it. If they want to find a good job, if they want to keep their jobs, if they want to, you know, do things like that, they need to know English, but they are not really connected with the language, so they feel really bad, and they feel they can actually become aggressive and feel irritated and feel frustrated very easily, very, very easily, because they have no connection with the language, right? This is a problem that can have a solution. This is a problem for us Brazilians to try to find a solution for. This is a fact, right? We can see this with our students, we can see this with people on Instagram, everywhere. This is a fact. By the way, some research I was taking a look the other day says that 5% of the population, of the Brazilian population, can speak English on an intermediate level. I would say less than that. I don't believe it's 5%. I think it's much, much less than that. And this is very sad. So this is so clear in my head. We have this problem. This is a very common thing. Somebody, I forgot the name, but mentioned frustration with English, not remembering the words, not becoming fluent. You don't have the patience to study. You don't have the patience to use a textbook. You don't speak in class. You don't understand what people say. You don't understand songs. You don't understand what people say in movies, in TV shows. Frustration everywhere, right? Frustration. And then people stop learning. This is not a solution. Stop learning English is not the solution. What is the solution? This is my question for you. Because I have found a solution for myself, but I cannot make you see that. I can tell you from my experience, but you need to find a solution yourselves, right? Stop learning is not a solution. And English today is unavoidable. You cannot avoid it. I know Brazil is an isolated country. We find our way not just to use English and do business anyway. But we are limited because of that. We could do much, much better. We could do much better. I always think about the northeast of Brazil, which is a treasure that we have. Actually, the whole country is a treasure, but we have this huge coast that is beautiful, and we don't use it. And instead of using it in a way that can be beneficial to the country, we destroy it, right? That's what we do. In Spain, for example, they attract a lot. They have a much shorter coast. They attract a lot more tourists than we do. Probably because they speak English, or more people speak English there, probably because of that. You know, so this is very sad when you think about these things. On the other hand, today we have the internet, so all of you are here. We have, this is kind of very democratic. People have access to information. Everybody has this, you know, the same access to information nowadays. And this is really cool. On the Polyglot community on Instagram, I've met people from Caicó, from Roraima, from, you know, everywhere, Mato Grosso, from places that, you know, and these people, I've met polyglots, okay, from these places. They speak many languages, including Japanese, Chinese, languages that I haven't even touched yet. And they speak, you know, they speak it. They speak those languages. They communicate with other people. Some of them know Polish. And this is amazing. This is fantastic. So I think what we need is just focus on solutions for things. The solution is here, is around us. We just need to focus and try to detect them and use them in a beneficial way for us and other people. And that can be really cool. You know, that will help us get out of this hole. Because Newton and I believe in education. We believe in education. Today we have access to teachers everywhere. There is Khan Academy. You've probably seen this somewhere. You know, all kinds of courses. We always tell our students to take those courses at Coursera. They actually have been taking those courses. What they do is they do the courses, they watch the videos, sometimes they participate in the forums. They sometimes they do it for, you know, for real, to get the certificate, and they get corrections from other students, from teachers. And in class, they tell us what they have learned in English, obviously. This is amazing. You know, they wouldn't have had access to that in the past. No way. And actually, I've just been learning Polish now because of the internet, because of all the access, and because I've been meeting people too. So that's my recommendation. There are so many things that I'm telling you here. Have a goal, okay? A goal that is really something. Decide what's really important for you. Is English important for you or not? If it's not, focus on something else, okay? If it is English, focus on that. Create focused accounts on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. Become part of a community and establish connections with people everywhere. Make these connections stronger by, I don't even need to say this, because this is one of the strengths we as Brazilians have. We make connections with other people very easily, very, very strong connections very easily. Use that. You know, I think we don't know what to do with the things, the good things that we have. So use that to learn English this year. Become part of a community. You know, I remember now an example of a polyglot that I just saw him this year. His name is Lucas. I forgot his last name. His name is Lucas. And he has a channel together with Ian. And I don't know where Ian is from. I think Belgium. Lucas is, I will try to get in touch with him and try to do a live stream here with him. He is actually mentioned as an example. If you watch the Lydia Mahova TED Talk, which is featuring now on TED this week, it's a recent one, she mentions Lucas, who is a Brazilian polyglot. So do you understand what I'm saying here? Brazilians are fantastic, fantastic. Lucas is admired in the polyglot community. These past few months, he was doing, what is it? Well, it was a speech or a course in Russian. He was teaching something, a presentation, doing a course. He was giving a course in Russian. And he is amazing. He's amazing. I was listening also. I listened to a podcast, an interview with another guy, Chris. I don't know, Chris something. He was interviewing him, Lucas. A very long interview. I think it was 1 hour. And Lucas was telling us about his experience learning languages. Lucas is a good example of a Brazilian using his creativity to learn languages. I think you guys should try to find him on the internet. Oh my God, I don't know his last name, but you will, if you put Polyglot Lucas, you will find him. He's from the south, I think, of Brazil. And I think he's in his 30s these days, I'm not sure. He's now living in Thailand because he's learning Thai there. And Lucas, I think, is a very good reference for us Brazilians. He is Brazilian, he's a polyglot, and his story is fantastic. The way he started learning language is something phenomenal. Hello, Leandro. So, I don't know how much time we have left. I've spoke a lot. I have a lot of energy today because it's the beginning of the year, but hopefully, one of my other plans is to, I think I already told you, I'm going to do many live streams with people here. If you want to do a live stream with me, send me a direct message, okay? And we can schedule one. If you are a teacher, if you are a student, doesn't matter, whatever you are, if you want to speak English, we can do this. Oh, Learning 92, he was frustrated because he was forgetting words. One thing that we polyglots is nice, what we know is that beginners, people who are starting to learn languages, they feel frustration a lot. This is very common and normal. The more you learn and the more languages you learn, the less frustrated you become. So this is something good to look up for. Okay, so the more you practice, the more you learn, the more interaction, the more people you get to know, the more polyglots you get to know, the more you get to use your English, the less frustrated you feel, the less afraid to use the language, whatever language it is you feel, the less afraid of speaking to a native speaker you feel, you know, so you feel better and better and better. I recommend this to everyone. Become polyglots. It's easy today. There is no secret. Eugenio, yes, I don't know if you're still here, but yes, we met in 2018. It was great. We need to schedule a live stream together. Okay, Eugenio, we'll do that this year so you can practice your English. Happy New Year, Junior. Happy New Year to all of you. Oi, Sibra. Hello, Marcelo, Chad, Caio, Francisco, Sandro. Hello. Hello, Sandro. I'm very happy to see you here. And remember that if you want to, Lily, I don't know if Lily is still here. We can, I talked to Lily a little bit last year here on Instagram, but we can do a 1 hour live stream. That would be awesome. I think Sarah was here. I don't know if she's still here. Hello, Sarah, if you're still here. Newton was here laughing at something that I was saying. People were laughing. Sarah was here. Marcela Cabral, hello. Okay, we have 30 seconds left. Yes, I live in Brazil. I'm from Belo Horizonte. So that's it. That's the first live stream of the year. And I will see you next time, probably tomorrow, who knows, right? Hello, Marina, John's wife. Yeah, Sara's still here. Good to see you, Sara. So that's it